Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome. Welcome to the 2025-26 BCiB Grade 1 Open State Pennant Finals. We're here with you from the beautiful Yamba Bowling Club. We have fabulous conditions here. You wouldn't believe it's winter as we bring you the coverage here in round one of the Pennant Finals. We're seeing just the conclusion of the trial ends. And we're going to be seeing Inverell RSM from the Northwest region up against Lennox Head from the Northern Rivers. They are the locals, the local hope. And your skips are going to be Doug Newton and Phillip Sharp. These players probably perhaps not so well known to all of our regular viewers. But I was having a chat with the players before the game. They're very excited to get on the stream and show themselves to great account and play with distinction for you, our viewers, as well as for their clubs and their regions. So brilliant to have your company wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world. Nick Hind is my name, and we're going to be bringing you what we trust is going to be a fabulous event here from Yamba Bowling Club. So our teams for this contest for Inverell, it is Simon Luxford, Daniel Stashynsky. I knew I'd trip over that one. Marcus McCosker and your skip Douglas Newton. For Lennox Head, lead Craig Sandstrom. Second, Ray Roberts. Third is Jake Bourke and the skip Phil Sharp. So the players are going to shake hands. They're going to be getting underway, and it will be Lennox Head to get us started here. And the very energetic Craig Sandstrom will be getting things underway. So we have now the first bowl here of the BCiB Grade 1 Open State Pennant Finals. It's Craig Sandstrom getting us underway, and he's going to fall a metre or so short. And in response now, Simon Luxford, yes, and just the same, a little bit of dew this morning overnight. The sea mist, very close to the water here at Yamba. Little bump through his own bowl there from Craig, who makes both hands look a little bit unappetising. Simon Luxford, he's going to look to adjust on that backhand. Got the track pretty good. Just again, as I say, pulling up on that short side. We've seen the players out enjoying the greens yesterday afternoon in the practice sessions. They've got beautiful colour here, and it's going to help our pictures a lot. It's not all natural. They haven't been given an English surface here. It's just a little bit of colour that the greenkeeper has applied. And I have had some rain up here. There was 60 millimetres. Coordinator Jason Pinnock was telling me earlier in the last week, and that has perhaps dulled some of the finish. But we know from, we're here for Inter-Region in February, and they are beautiful surfaces. Ray Roberts here, he looks to have adjusted his line nicely. Can you get down and nail this jack? He's going to be very close. That's a super start here from Ray. And the hat comes off. Phil Sharp, he's happy with that. Jason Pinnock's just going to do one little job for me before he jumps on. I left my clipboard up at the lectern there, Jason, and he's going to go grab that for me. And we might go and remind, I did let our Inverell players know about standing in front of the camera. Also early in the campaign, we're going to be very focused. Jason's calling me a liar. Apparently I didn't leave my clipboard over near the lectern. Yes, well, it's a good effort there from Jake Bourke. That's probably going to make 2 or 3 for Lennox Head. Jake Bourke, a very animated character. And now, McCosker. He's going to go pretty close here. He gets past the front. He's going to get right down to that jack. Yes, nailed it. As it's good morning for the very first time to Jason Pinnock.
Good morning, Nick. Good morning, everybody. Welcome here to Yamba for the Grade 1 State Pennant Finals. Turned on the weather too.
Yeah, you have, Jason. I'll give you that. It's going to be one shot still to Ray Roberts. Jake Bourke here with those pink and grey bowls. It's going to go close to adding a second.
Local flavour in this game. It's good to see. Locals, Lennox Head. They actually pipped our club. They did in the region pennant.
Yes,
they did. So
there was mention of that this morning.
Yeah. Good side they are. Lennox Head side, full of region representatives.
Oh, this is going to be not too far away again here from Inverell. Oh, it's a mighty effort there.
Yeah, these Inverell boys, they'll know this green. They're runners-up in our Lighthouse Fours here this year. They were, these boys. I know the conditions well, especially on this green in particular, playing the final of it and getting just pipped, but I've seen them here a few times, Inverell, over the last couple of years. Good bunch of lads too, they are. See there, very little to no breeze. See the flags in the background there. Very, very little, which is good to see. Skipper Phil Sharp now on the mat. Looks a little heavy with this. Line's pretty good. Maybe it was intentional just to get a cover bowl in there.
Doug Newton doesn't need to do too much here, Jace. Just needs to get onto that green. A little bit of contact will do wonders for Inverell at this point. Speed's excellent.
Sharpie looking for something similar. Can just beat his yellow inside there. Be a very handy home. Looks like he's pointed well anyway.
He's done exactly what you called, Jason, and makes it harder for Inverell to potentially get a multiple here with contact.
Could be potentially be 3 down here, Nick.
Calls up and down. The green bowl is Inverell. The blue is Ray Roberts.
Ah, yes, sorry.
See next door, Jack gets trailed right back to the number. So Douglas Newton.
Got a good track here.
Very close here. Very close. Any turn through that green, he's done it beautifully. What a shot.
Sensational.
So one shot it will be to Doug Newton. One shot to Inverell RSM. And next door, we'll see what's going on next door. 2 shots it was to Lennox Head on the neighbouring rink. And then on the third rink, we'll try to keep that updated as best we can throughout the broadcast. But, from our commentary position, there's always somebody in the road. It's the only thing you've done wrong, Jason. You haven't given us a clear run at the scoreboards.
We could have put you outside, but said that, the weather forecast was a little bit ominous in a negative way. It was a couple of weeks ago, so made the decision to get you inside early. But
yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed actually not to be outside, Jason. It's such a nice day here.
Yeah.
We've had beautiful weather, except for that very sharp shower about 5:30 yesterday morning.
Yeah.
There's a nice start.
Craig Sandstrom, good ball there. Yeah, greenkeeper's done a lot of good work this week. 60 mil of rain we have this week, so just took a little bit of zing out of the greens, but players in the roll-up yesterday were quite impressed with the speed despite the conditions.
Yeah, I mentioned just before you came on that there was a little bit of colour applied by the greenkeepers, so they do look almost like an English surface, but they won't be playing like one.
That's exactly right.
Boys here obviously having a good time. It's a bit of work there from Craig. Gets past and improves that first bowl. And if you've been going through the program at home, Kira's put the program together for us. Let us know who you think's going to win the Grade 1 flag this year, because Jason and I were talking this morning. We reckon there's at least 9 chances.
Absolutely.
And the other 7 you certainly can't write off. There's no ordinary teams here. There's the good and there's the very, very good. So we'll see what happens as the cream rises throughout the event.
Yeah, that's right. If you look at the team sheets, Nick, it's hard to pick an outright winner. You got your powerhouses in Cabramatta and Marylands, and it's very funny to see they're actually playing each other in round 1 this morning. So, Tarrant Point, obviously, previous Platinum Pennant entry, they were a couple of years ago. Obviously, probably looking to.
Well, they might be coming back. And
yeah, could be. So a result here would obviously help their cause.
Last year's champions, Corrimal and Marimbula have got a very good side.
Yeah, Marimbula looked good in the roll-up yesterday, I've got to say. I was watching their roll-up, and I tell you what, there was very rarely a bowl outside 2 foot.
Tuncurry Beach have got a lot of good players.
Oh.
There's no ordinary sides here, so cream will rise. And Ray Roberts is to rise to the occasion here once again. He started very brightly. That's going to be 2, I believe, to Lennox Head. The white bowl of Dan Stashynsky is...
you got that first go.
It took me a few goes outside.
Been practicing it. I did the same thing.
I had to pay in instalments for that one. So, pressure being applied by the front end here of Lennox Head on our streaming rink.
Yeah, Dougie's liking this. I like the air. It's all down to the legs now. Yeah, very handy. Give it every chance, didn't he?
It's a very important part of what we're doing here this week. The teams that do give themselves those maximum opportunities. Jake Bourke, he's being called. Stay on that forehand side. You can see the flags fluttering at the top of the picture. And he's got this pointed very nicely, Jason. Almost a bit too good.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's stayed with it. Good
It's
speed.
Yeah, it's good. He's got the shot, changed up angles as well there, so not easy now for Inverell. I think we might see a little bit of some sort of weight coming down here, unless they want to play the dead draw down the other hand.
It looks difficult, the backhand, because of how wide their next best is, and that rainbow coloured bowl coming in of Craig Sandstrom. I like your call, but he might be keeping that in his pocket, Doug Newton, play the hero bowl at the end.
Yeah, I guess early in the games you want to see your players just drawing and building heads for you early on. Dougie's clapping this, but I think he might be hanging a bit wide there. It is a side of the green that just won't quite pull back as hard.
Well, the suggestion from Doug was that he could use that blue wing bowl, and you could see that was the sort of weight and the line to do it, so wasn't too far away. Okay, O'Keefe's got a tip in. He's saying Merimbula are going to run second.
Well, okay.
Corrimal he likes for number one. So Cody O'Keefe, of course, a Riverina Murray representative and fine young man.
Good to see you on, Code. Hope you're keeping well, buddy.
He's one of the good guys out that way.
Yes, he was here for Inner Region. He was earlier in the year. He's a good man.
He's spectacular form.
Absolutely.
So, yes, do drop a comment. Let us know where you're watching, who you like. But it's a privilege to bring you these great pictures here. Nick Hind and Jason Pinnock together at last. It's been a minute, Jace. But
yeah,
good to see as well a couple of clubs that perhaps don't have the visibility of others. So to see Inverell, the maroon, and Lennox Head, the sea green and white.
See there again, Dougie just getting caught a little wide that side.
Well, that's the sort of bowl that he was.
But that's not a bad position he's got now. That probably gives him a better target, really. Just narrows the target for him. If he knows next time if he gets under that bowl, he's got to be close.
That's Simon Luxford, the blue bowl there that was tipped across. So I suspect that you can use the inside half of that now, Doug Newton, but for Phil Sharp, I wonder if he's going to look to play backhand and tuck it away.
No, he's lined up on his forehand, Phil is.
No, it's a busy way in, Jason.
Yeah, but if anyone can do it, it's this man. I've come up against Phil quite a few times, and he can thread a hole. There's no two ways about it. He's just got himself caught a little narrow there.
Oh, that was Lennox head bowl coming up. That was a Ray Roberts. So, as I say, it looked a tough line to get to clean. I suspect he was looking to get down to the green bowl at the back of the rink. These Inverell blokes, they are going to remember momentarily my instructions, but they're having an assessment here as to how to get to that shot that I think you liked earlier, Jason, up the middle has now sort of disappeared.
Yeah, it has. That's right. I think Dougie's just got to stick to that backhand, but especially if he's a couple down here, it's a bit hard to be rumbling up in that head, but looks like he might be lining up for it, Nick.
I think he is.
Well, if anyone can play it, it's Dougie. I've seen him play many big shots before. Here we go. He is pushing into that. Ooh, let's see what happens here. He's just a little bit tight into the head here. Anything can happen. He's got up through. Move Jack. I'm not sure whose bowl that is. Is that a Ray Roberts blue bowl there?
Jack goes out of picture. Well, there's two different blue ones, but that, I think, is a Ray Roberts. And we'll get an indication in just a moment from our players as to how they play this. Tony Collier's picked up two ends in a row next door, and the other rink it is 2-1. So Brendan Clark is on the board for Lennox Head. They've done the right things. They've put the magnets on the right side of the scoreboard. That matches up with what we're doing here. I was explicit with my instructions for that.
Well, Sharpie now. Give that every chance, didn't he, down there?
Might just slip out of the count. The green bowl is the Inverell, and it is one shot to Lennox Head. So that was Phil Sharp out wide. And 1-1 through 2 here on this streaming rink. Comments coming in. Johnny Hill saying good morning.
Hillsy.
Looking forward to what he likes it up here, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's had some success. Hillsy has here.
Current over 40 pairs, state champion.
All-round good man too.
Looking forward to watching some great bowls streamed over the next few days, and we're looking forward to you joining us, John Hills. Vince Calabrese, he's watching from Leppington in Sydney. Barbara Green saying Tarrant Point to win. Go the Scorchers. And a lovely start there from Craig Sandstrom. Carmen Plaza, of course, saying good bowling to the Illawarra teams. Carmen furnished us with some of the most beautiful cream horns you've ever eaten in your life when we were at Fig Tree the other week, Jace. You would have enjoyed it.
Oh, this figure doesn't eat cream horns, mate. Come on.
Oh. Well, good starts here from the leads. It was an excellent attempt there from... DJ Dilworth is being summoned to come and join us in commentary, but he's actually out there playing, would you believe?
He's managing. He is. He's
he?
managing.
Oh, I thought he was playing.
He's managing the Maitland City side.
He couldn't give himself a start in his own Grade 1 team. That's remarkable.
No, he said he's not being selfish. He'll let the guys do their job.
I did threaten we'd get him on at some point throughout the broadcast. This is a great response here from, well, Simon Luxford.
Well, that's pretty good leading, Nick. You know that both bowlers have got one on basically, and the next two bowls are behind. That's textbook leading.
It's classy stuff. And Ray Roberts now, he's probably been the pick for me for Lennox Head in the first two ends. And that will be the commentator's curse once again. Stopped him.
Got him, Nick. Well done.
Well, you can see the intent there, though. He wanted to get up, get to play tight to the shot bowl, tight to the jack. The way that that's sitting, with Grade 1 players, that will not stay like that.
Dan's up and at this. What's going to happen here?
Oh, he's got the result.
Still one down, but he's made it better for Inverell.
Call is for Ray, you've got to be at least finishing past here. And drawing another side toucher is not going to do you any favours. Get up to your shot bowl, get through the white. Sneak round the back. Well, this will be second prize if you can cover that blue bowl at the back of the rink. That's a Simon Luxford bowl.
Well, this is on good track, Nick. It's all down to his weight. Well, he's got a bit on this. Obviously just looking to get that back marker. Bit of adrenaline still in the arm, I think.
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. You don't want to be short in that situation, but, that is a wasted bowl in the end.
Yeah, it is a bit.
I wonder if you're going to do that, you might be better off just going to go for the bare jack and run it in rather than sort of fiddly weight. But as it turns out, still only 1-2 Lennox Head.
Jake's on a very good track here
too.
too.
At the moment though, Jason.
Very good track. Oh, good bowl, but all he's done is fatten the target a bit more, unfortunately.
The risk for Inverell is though the white bowl's really their only one in the area. So, probably don't want to go screaming at this, but I'd suggest that Marcus, he'll be just up to it.
Well, he needs to be up to it with this line. They will bend.
Oh, I tell you what, he's pretty close here, Jace.
Well, he's got it nicely. That was always on the cards.
Might have made a couple there too. That is the blue bowl at the back of the rink is the Simon Luxford bowl for Inverell. And that now looks to be 2 shots, and Phil Sharp has got a bit of a decision to make here. There might be an opportunity
to get them both out.
On the forehand to get them both, yeah.
Well, right to the right, Jack High there is the Craig Sandstrom bowl, the lead for Lennox Head. So, bit of a chance Jack will go that way as well.
It is going to be weight, so Jay, he'll have his finger hovering over the replay button here, just in case. I'll tell you what, he's got it pointed pretty nicely.
He has. Oh, he's got this nicely.
Oh,
he's
wow.
nailed it. Whoa, what an effort.
What a shot. He spun through, run onto the jack, and he's made at least 1 shot now for Lennox Head. That was a super bowl from Jake Bourke. Let's have a look at that on the replay. can see set up very deliberate. Getting to attack, and it just never looked like it was missing out of the hand, Jace.
Especially on that side, it's you point, you aim straight at it, and it's going to hold straight to it down that side of the green.
So back live now, and it's Inverell under some pressure here, because this is a challenging shot to play.
Well, it is, and it's going swimming through.
Once again, you don't want to be finishing short there, but probably 2 wasted bowls in this end from Inverell, one feels.
Yeah, if you're playing that pushy weight, again, Nick, you're probably looking at pushing harder up through the middle. More chances of results. You know, Jack's only a foot off the edge.
Yeah,
You're just playing a yard onto it.
Exactly right. Yeah, under the white bowl is a better outcome there, because you've got chances of getting through the Lennox head bowls as well. But at any rate, it's Phil Sharp with an opportunity to add on here for Lennox head.
See that photo next door. See that
bowls getting played next door every time we
Absolutely.
bring you one shot. We're seeing, well, just double the action here from Yamba Bowling Club. This is the unders line that we were talking about. He can get down and beat this blue bowl at the back. That's all he's got to do, Phil Sharp. That's going to count.
I think it is, yes.
So at least 2 shots to Lennox head now. And for Doug Newton, pressure being applied, just the degree of difficulty with this shot. So he's gone the more direct route, as you call, Jason.
Gets around the front, he's close. He's close, or he's got 2 of them out.
2 out, so now it's up and down for shot.
That's a great shot, Doug Newton.
That's exactly as you called, though, Jace. There were so many more ways to win playing tight to that. If you're playing ditch weight, the suggestion is still Lennox head are holding.
Sharpie's just got to play a very similar bowl. Draw the shot. If he happens to get on the front Lennox head bowl, he'll turn it in anyway. And if he's under the white, well, he's just got a little rub, unfortunately. Played good weight for it.
The indication is 2 down, so I believe there's one in the ditch that is a toucher for Lennox head. Might bring us that angle, yeah. So you see the bowl coming in. There is a cluster in the ditch there, and that's another one up on the bank. And didn't get the signal there with one.
Yeah, it looked like he had 1.5 fingers up, didn't he? Trying to work it out.
Making it very difficult for us here in the broadcast position. He's 2-all on the far ring. So it's Hamilton and Clark. Tony Collier leads Darren Hungerford 4-0 after 3 ends, and we'll see what our scoreboard says here in just a moment. The masterboard says 9, so that tells me that was 2 shots there.
2 shots there.
Pinnock.
Yep. You got good mathematics today, Nick. Good to see.
We'll see how we're going at the end of the afternoon. 2 it is. So 3 shots Phil Sharp, 1 shot Doug Newton. Lennox head 9, lead Inverell 3 on the masterboard, and we're 9 ends into the contest. 63 ends is the trip. This is our pennant format, so 3 rinks, each playing 2 bowl 4s, 21 ends. Dead ends will be replayed, and if we have a draw at the end of 63 ends, we'll call it a draw in sectional play.
It's a good opener for Inverell, just what they needed. It's early days, but 9-3. You're starting to think, well, don't want that shooting out another 2 or 3 more shots and out to a 10-shot margin early, so you want to try and keep this tight. What a reply, Craig Sandstrom.
Having A good tussle here early. The leads probably neither necessarily nailed it in the first end or two, but they're coming good. Yeah, this looks a little bit firm.
Yeah, that's all.
Gets a reasonable bounce. So, more comments coming through. Kenta Treacher, the great man. He said he's had eagle eyes. It was the Lennox head toucher in the ditch. That was the second shot. And he said he played against Doug Newton at the Phoenix Pairs at Park Beach recently.
Yeah, well, you may not see Inverell too much on our, obviously, live streams with New South Wales. They feature heavily at Lightning Ridge tournaments and all the big tournaments in New South Wales. You see Inverell teams getting to pointy ends most of the time. So, very good players. There's no two ways about that.
Well, certainly they were given a rap by their region match chair, Phil O'Reilly. He said this is a very good side, and, well, yeah, it's a good bowl played for it.
Yeah, there was always them sort of results down that side, Nick.
I think Phil Sharp here.
And looking at something similar, really. Just that backhand,
Yep.
Given a chance to reach, 2 foot on.
Yeah, if you're a little bit tight, you can bump off your own. If you're a little bit tighter again, you can bump off the inside of the white. The jack movement, I like this call here. And Ray Roberts, he's played these shots well already. So, just seeing, go past Ray Roberts, a little bit quicker than 2 feet. So,
He's on a pretty good line here, Dan is. It's just his legs,
well, he's going to get through the Inverell bowl at the front again.
He got some position with that, didn't he?
Well, now the Craig Sandstrom bowl's looking a little bit lonely in that head, and Inverell have got 3 of the first 4. As Jake Bourke had to make an assessment here. I think it's just a draw. Jakes is
Yeah, he's only got the one in the head. Another one in there's needed.
important.
Well, he's on a bit of a searching line here.
Gets all the way down to the jack. It's going to be very good,
I'd
Jace.
say.
Played it nicely.
He has played it perfectly, Jake Bourke. Just played that 2 foot on, give it chances. Brilliant weight control there.
And sort of up and down for shot at the moment. I favour Inverell still, but they certainly don't have it all their own way. Inverell maybe now have number 1, but second, third for probably fourth too for Lennox Head.
Tell you what, players on this green today, maybe looking to, this will be the green that we do our little initiative we've got going, our bowls for bucks on Friday night, mate. And this is the green we do it on, so I wonder if the players are just going to pick up on the speed and have a crack tonight, $5,000 up for grabs.
I'll be having a crack, Jace. I'm in for that.
We use the glow bowls, they do, so. Well.
That might help me. So Marcus, he's just giving himself a chance there to draw basically around that blue. The good finish, not quite there yet. Cool start this morning, but the sun's shining and we're looking for a top of 20-odd degrees today, I believe, Jace. 21?
It's 21 up on the hill, but more like 23, 24 down here, mate. So, really good weather. Perfect conditions for play.
So the call here from Inverell, you can play that and get off your own bowl, that last green bowl. Marcus is the call. Now, there is a slight risk of turning in the pink and grey, but it's probably protected enough.
The other hand's really hard to play. It's all blocked up there.
Well, and
Nothing happening.
that's the difficulty too, isn't it? This hand might look fantastic, but the other hand is challenging as well. So all down to weight here. It's that sort of shot where you just need to play the right speed.
Yeah, a little bit of moisture still coming up out of the green. We had a bit of a dew this morning as well. As I said earlier, 60 mil of rain during the week. So I reckon another couple of ends, Nick, and we might just see that turn starting to come into the match.
Certainly this green known to those of us who were here at the interregion, the senior interregion, the women's interregion earlier in the year. It was flying by the end of that campaign. And go back and have a look at the final. Metro Southeast and Southwest turned on a brilliant show for you on this, and then also going. Stuart Rigg won't let me remind you, but go and have a look at the final of the senior men's. He said he had nightmares turning up here and looking at this rink. Phil Sharp here. Well, he's on the attack. I think he's going to look for that jack clean. Well, that's not the way he would have drawn that up. He apologises immediately.
Yeah. Well, I saw Sharpie play a similar shot against me in a tournament recently. He actually got that. Got the only bowl out of the head that we had in there out, and I went 6 down. So he's well known for those shots, giving him chances, but it is part of our game.
It was. I think it was a good percentage shot to play though.
Yeah, absolutely.
One down, very hard to get at.
And Dougie's playing that search and wait there. He was. You could see that.
Yeah, I think once again wanted to be on the tight line, punch through the shot bowl, but
Another one.
There's two at the back of the rink though now for Phil Sharp. I wonder whether he might be tempted to look for that jack again. You know, if he plays it a little bit tight, can get the edge of the rainbow bowl onto Inverell. But if he's doing that, it's very likely to get that jack back down the line. Down the line 2 feet for 3.
Either way, I think it's same weight, Nick, isn't it? For either result.
Lining up. He's playing forehand and he's looking for the jack.
He's tight.
Well, he got a bit fortunate to get the shot. Maybe a bit fortunate not to give it away. So, Doug Newton now looking to draw the shot. There's a kind edge for him out there, but he didn't quite get it. So it's going to be one further to Lennox Head and Phil Sharp.
Good to see all the colours out there again, Nick. We're blessed here to be able to host a whole lot of this pennant, as we have within a region, and around our state usually they get split across clubs. We're pretty blessed to be able to have the whole lot at our venue, and it just adds to the whole atmosphere of the event.
Well, yes, the size, the scale of your club, to have everybody in the auditorium this morning, the energy was infectious, Jace, wasn't it? That everyone was so enthusiastic. We even got them out ahead of time, so that's how excited everyone was today. And we're seeing some top bowls played here on this rink. Next door, Darren Hungerford in trouble early. You don't want to be down 10 on the master board. What about 10 on your rink through 4 ends?
I'll tell you, Tony Collier is a specialist lead. He is. He lead up in our region side. He leads up most of the time, but they've had a couple of blokes that were out for this pop final series, Lennox Head. So he's had to step up to the mark, and
he might be a specialist skip after this, Jason.
Well, there's a couple of jokes there, maybe, but maybe they're finally getting something in the head with Collier at the back end.
How dare you.
He'll take it in, Jess. Don't worry about that. Good man. But, no, so yeah, obviously doing really, really well, stepping up into that skips roll there, Tone. Yeah, we see a good shot there by Craig Sandstrom. He's been the difference here at the moment. He's sort of won that lead battle, he has.
So currently the score 17-3. We'll just adjust our master board there. I think Jay's in driving the cameras for us today, and I think he hit the wrong button at some point. So
he's played that with good weight, just swung in underneath.
Yeah, Simon's not played poorly here. He's just being outmatched slightly, and it's the front end, Craig Sandstrom and Ray Roberts for Lennox Head, that are setting things up. I feel as though Marcus and Dougie have not really let themselves down, but they just haven't been given the same opportunities that Jake Bourke and Phil Sharp have.
Yeah, most definitely. We see straight away a bit of insurance early for Lennox Head. Ray, even if he was a tad narrow, is looking for that trail of the jack to change the look. So that's a pretty good bowl. Dougie's clapping this one already. So
just a little bit sticky, as we've noted on that hand, isn't it, Jason?
It is.
Not quite finishing, but again, perhaps playing just a little bit positive there. Dan Stashynsky. And Ray's going to look to back the weight off here and try to draw one on the front of the jack.
That's the problem with these morning greens, though. You try and just back the weight off, and that happens straight away. Bang, metre short. So,
sure, plenty of our viewers will know all about that. Bill Ahoy watching from Newcastle. Good day to you, Billy. Giles was checking in, is this grass or artificial? It is a grass green, but I can see where you'd be bluffed. It's that nice.
There we go. Dan's on a better line this time, Nick.
Well, he can get all the way down to the jack. That's really
he's actually swung through. Played it with good intention, though.
And then Jason's letting us know it is grass, but has been given some artificial colour. And they're superb surfaces, as we say. We've been here a lot for Bowls New South Wales events in recent times, and we've got another great one coming up in November, Jace. Over 40 pairs finals.
Yeah, sure is, mate. That'll be the third instalment, it is, that we've been hosting. So
you'll be hoping to be here as a competitor, I understand. I had a look at your section. I think you're a big chance, mate.
Oh, yeah, it depends how they come out on the day with me, mate. It's either diamonds or rocks, I'm telling you right now. But at the moment, they're coming out like diamonds, but it's all about timing for me sometimes. But yeah, no, looking forward to trying to qualify, and obviously home state finals, home state championship. You always want to play in your home crowd, home facilities, don't you? So
you certainly would. Why wouldn't you want to come and play here? Fabulous club. Very direct line from Inverell here. Marcus, speed's good. It's going to go close to being second shot now, I believe. Definitely only one for Lennox Head and Inverell. They're going to want to get their skates on here, get that confidence, win the mat back, and hope that Darren Hungerford and Scott Hamilton can win an end at the same time. Get the scoreboard ticking over in your favour.
Three good skips here for Inverell. They've all featured at region level at some stage. Scotty Hamilton's obviously been involved around the stateside stuff as well. So they've been here and done it before, so do expect that fight back, you will, at some stage.
Now, this looks a better track from Inverell. Get through that last bowl. Jake Bourke gets down. That'll probably be shot. And all of a sudden, that deepest bowl on the rink there of Ray Roberts is looking mighty useful. But we'll see what Phil Sharp opts to do first here. He can look to punch the green bowl through the head. Playing a couple of yards, and if he's a little bit wide, there is a trail back to the back of the rink. So I think it's beforehand, positive, not silly weight, Jace.
No, exactly right. He's got 3 second woods here at the moment, Phil Sharp, I believe. So he'll be given this every chance. It's not a good line. Does it get back enough? Well, he played that weight to get all the way through to the ditch. Obviously didn't want to play any less weight because there's 2 white bowls there sitting there for Inverell as well to catch. So it was more weight's better than less.
Well, still there with the pace of the green this morning too. He's a little bit tight, gets onto that green bowl at the front, probably stays around to count. So
Dougie, get inside that bowl, be very, very good. Flops and, well,
that's going to be the argument too, Jace.
Well, I reckon he secured third out of that at the very minimum, Nick. So
Phil Sharp, he was ready. He wanted to play that bowl again very quickly, but Jake Bourke said, oh, just stand by, mate. Let's see what we're doing here.
Yeah, you're up 17-3. Probably doing a bit of risk management here. You don't want to be dropping any big shots at all. So, yeah, Jake's seen something else maybe for a possible count.
Always good to have that discussion. I think, well, certainly Lee Craig Sandstrom, he was indicating to me that he wanted the Jack run to the back of the rink again. So currently we believe it is 1 only to Inverell. And Phil Sharp looks to be a little bit more controlled this speed.
Yeah, but just on that side of the green that's holding, so...
Well, for Inverell, yeah, just draw that on the forehand now.
That's
Beautiful
it.
port.
Yeah, nothing silly here. Let's just win this end, get control of the mat, regroup, and I think we might see a bit of a length change here, Nick.
Yeah, well, we've seen, you can see where Doug Newton's standing. It's good production there from Jay. They've had the mat up quite a fair way, Lennox Head. Jack deep on the rink.
Yeah, it's played a pretty good line. If he's got the perfect weight, he will turn back to it, but just scooting around.
So, one shot it is to Inverell. And Doug Newton, 2. Now trails Phil Sharp, 4. It was another 2, though, next door to Tony Collier, the specialist lead.
He's on fire, hey? He's on fire, Collier. He's a good man, too, he is.
And then just unsighted on the other scoreboard over there, but I believe it might be 3-all. It is.
Well, Nick, I'm going to get a bit of paper and I'll do a bit of a run around the grounds and just get some masterboard scores for you to let our viewers know.
Thanks, Jace. So Jason Pinnock's going to step out briefly. Maybe go refill the coffee cup while he's at it. And great to have his company and his insight. Nick Hind, my name. Great to have your company, your insight. Our viewers are often our best researchers. You can tell me all about these players from Lennox Head and Inverell. As we've seen, once again, a fabulous start from Craig Sandstrom. They've been featuring prominently in the head so far, and his opponent, Simon Luxford, as I say, hasn't been disgraced here, but has just been outpointed by a quality lead bowler in Craig Sandstrom. Another good one, tucks that jack behind. It's a better bowl than maybe it looked there for Craig. Now, Dan gets right down to this jack here. He's played it very nicely. Didn't quite pick it up and get the shot, but has done well. Ray Roberts, he'll be asked to play the forehand here. Draw to the tee. Beat that last bowl of Dan Stashynsky. And he started so well, Ray, and that's a blemish on his record. Gary Trevethan, he's telling good luck to his Campbelltown Ghosts side. Well, they're ones that expect them to be in this competition as well. Last year's Grade 2 state champions. Up to the ones. And through to another state final. So a good team there. Some interesting names. Dylan Skinner, my former colleague from Zone 7 days. He's playing there. Somebody who's done a lot in our sport. Saw him this morning. Ray Roberts, now he's lobbed this out on a much better draw line. He's got the speed improved too. So that's an excellent correction, and that's going to be 2 shots to Lennox head. Oh goodness, Tony Collier. He's moved on to 15. So 15 to zip next door. That's doing some real damage. We saw this in the women's pennant finals only recently. If you joined us from Fig Tree Sports, it was Kay Moran who remarkably was down 20 shots in a state pennant final, and that was just costly for Tarrant Point. Mary Lynn's going on to claim the Division 1 title there with a brilliant performance. Currently holding 2. I think Lennox said don't need to do anything silly here. Just to go and draw another one. No jack movement. Draw a front toucher would be the call here from Phil Sharp. Yep, and you can see the toes gone out. That's where I want it. 4-3. So Scott Hamilton in front on the far rink. So shots and margins do become important in this competition. We've got still the quarterfinals. So the top 2 from each section will progress to quarterfinals, and that's points, margins, percentage is how we figured that one out. So 1 point for each rink win, 7 points for each masterboard win. As somebody kicks our camera on the way past. Unbelievable. Still seem to be okay though. And Phil Sharp now is saying, well, I want you to draw me a front touch and you were short, so draw me some cover at the back of the rink. Jake Bourke's not particularly pleased with himself there. That's going to stay up, I feel. Perhaps not quite. Oh no, he has stayed up at the back of the rink, but largely unimportant at this stage, that bowl. And as the players cross over, you can see at the top of the pitch the flags there fluttering. Just a gentle zephyr here this morning. We're with you from Yamba Bowling Club. It is the BCiB Grade 1 Open State Pennant Finals. Nick Hind is my name. It's fantastic to have your company around Australia or around the world. We see here Doug Newton. Well, he's played that pretty well. Just missed on the quick side. May flop in. There has been some questions asked about the live scoring. Just once again, same as what we had with the men's and women's pennant finals, with our resources stretched across 12 venues. The decision was made that we'll use scorecards for this event, but live scoring will be utilised again in future. Careful here from Phil Sharp. Well, he's got the jack across. Up and down favour, 1 shot to Inverell. So yes, the live scoring has been a fantastic initiative, but we still have a lot of clubs, a lot of regions, a lot of players who are unfamiliar, and with Bowls New South Wales resources stretched across, well, this great venue and another 11 around the state, we felt that we couldn't deliver that confidently and ensure that the players were able to give themselves the best account. So we'll have more of that for you though at our next events.
Well, if he's got dead weight here, Nick, he's close.
Welcome back, Jason Pinnock. He was close.
Yeah.
And Phil Sharp's going to come and investigate here. It's pretty close, but I believe it is 1 to Inverell. Jason Pinnock, while they're reviewing these heads, give us the around the grounds.
All right, around the grounds, we've got Corrimal 21 over Gwendolyn 8, and that's after 16 ends. Dapto sits 8, Maitland City 13, and that's after 13 ends. The Campbelltown Ghosts 28 over Harvard 4 after 16 ends. So Campbelltown jumped out there.
Well, we just mentioned them while you were out doing the round the grounds. They were, of course, last year's Grade 2 state champions, so up in grade, but still showing that they are right up to this.
Absolutely. In the powerhouse clash, Cabramatta 8, Maryland's 12. That's after 15 ends. Nelson's Bay 20 over North Haven 10 after 15 ends. Tarrant Point 9, Tuncurry 16 after 16 ends. Batto Bay and Marimbula 15 all after 16 ends.
Oh, no. So has that helped you with your picking of a winner here?
No, it still hasn't helped.
These early results. Well, I just reminded our viewers that I'll see what Phil Sharp does here, but doesn't quite get any change in the head, and I believe that will be one single shot to, and it is, to Inverell. One single shot to Doug Newton, so he trails 4-3.
Yeah, well, the damage has been done in that middle rink, isn't it, Nick? So.
Yeah, and that was what I was going to say to you, Jason. We saw, of course, in our Women's Division 1 pennant final recently, Kay Moran, who was, of course, has done it all in our sport, but she was behind by 30 shots at one point. And you just wouldn't believe it for a player of her quality, but you do see the pressure of these games, the pressure of these finals. Well, Inverell have just done something very special there. They've rolled the jack, and the skip hasn't touched it.
Oh, what happens at Jindy when that happens?
Oh, well, we all go in and have a something beginning with tea. Not a cup of tea, though. It comes with lemon and salt. So I think the Inverell boys
good opener there.
Yeah, and this is where I think Craig Sandstrom has really just put Simon Luxford under the gun, under the pressure. So Simon, he's got his length now. And he'll be looking forward to perhaps giving a better account of himself. These players, perhaps some of them less familiar with being on the Bowls New South Wales live stream, but they're playing creditably so far. Particularly these leads, it's been a good tussle.
Yeah, well, I like what the Inverell lead's done there. While he might be getting out lead, he's getting his bowls into positions at the back. So,
yeah, been very serviceable, and once again, Craig, well, it's a very serviceable bowl as well. Stashynsky now looks to be about the right sort of line for that hand early on. Clear road past the rainbow bowl there would have been ideal. His weight was excellent. And Ray Roberts, he's being asked to beat the blue. See his speckled blue, hence the light XGs. Just not quite finishing for him out there. As we know, that hand typically plays tighter, but the wind in this direction probably helping it a little bit. Wind probably blowing bottom left to top right in the picture.
yeah, and another thing I've heard mentioned, the Grade 1 pennant and the restructure of the pennant system in New South Wales. Platinum pennant coming in, removing those elite players from the Grade 1 competition. Look out there today, Grade 1 competition. Ex-Jackaroos, Ray Pearce, Shane Globitz out there. You've got internationals, Dave Axon. There's still a bound of talent out there. This Grade 1 pennant. Kay Moran,
Michael Wilkes.
Absolutely.
We're seeing still players who are at the top of their game, and
Michael Wilkes, recent state pairs champion.
if you don't mind. Rowan Wilson, current state singles champion
Yeah.
and pairs champion.
Yeah.
And he's finally recovered from that campaign. It took him took him a moment. Going to see some intent here, just to go and draw through the rainbow bowl at the front. Done that really nicely there,
Yeah,
Jake Bourke.
What?
Been unlucky with how the jacks just popped out. Got some visibility.
Yep.
Can see the call here. Can get through the white bowl for Marcus. Through the white bowl, under for the jack. You don't want to float this one wide.
Well,
He didn't, but that's missing on the wrong side of the hill still, though.
Well, I think next door we might see that Darren Hungerford might have got on the mat. I see that they let up first.
He's off the schneid. That's very important.
Yeah, the duck egg's gone.
So,
I'm not sure what the score was, but this is on a very good track here. Just getting down into that port there. Yeah, that's a very good home.
flicked off. That was an Inverell bowl that just flicked off there as well. And he's got back to the centre line. That makes it very hard now for Inverell to get any jack movement that's going to be favourable.
Again, Dougie Newton's in that little bit of trouble, isn't he? He hasn't had a lot of options here, Dougie, but if anyone can get out of these situations, it is Dougie Newton. We may see a bit of weight coming down here, neck, trying to get underneath that white one. Anything under that white one and he gets a result.
Certainly can improve things. Hard to make it worse by doing that. So, as you've suggested, Jason Pinnock, likely to be some positive intent here from Doug Newton. It's not as positive as we'd called for. He's just looking to turn the white bowl through.
Yeah, just hung wide there with that sort of weight. Two options, he either skinnies it or he just backs off a metre of weight. It seems so many times people would adjust both things, they will on their second bowl. So
Yeah, exactly right. I think you need to stay, if it was the right shot before, it's probably the right shot again.
Yep.
To do exactly what you call, Jace. So currently you can see at the back of the rink there is a good blend of bowls, but none that are going to make a big number for anybody. So it's Phil Sharp going to look to draw and just apply the pressure here. Number pressure, turns the shot bowl up, turns it down. Another one in the catching area though with that swinging weight shot. I think you're probably better off going bigger at this now.
I think so too. You know, removal of the white, does it affect them? No, I think they got 2/3 anyway. So, well, Dougie's going again.
Well, he has tightened the lineup, Jace.
Hopefully he's kept the weight of the first. So here we see
Exactly as you said.
just a little bit off maybe. Well, maybe not, but
It's going to be potentially a number here for Lennox Ted, and with how this match has started, they're going to be in a confident position to continue on their merry way. Just Phil Sharpie's played a very conservative track to that one, and we're going to see one bowl removed, and Inverell are going to concede only the one, and they're going to say, Jake Bourke, you go and find a second if you believe it is there.
oh, well, I'm just going to quickly duck off. I can see my partner out there. I haven't seen her for a couple of days.
All right, Jace, well, you go and say good day to her, and we'll catch up with you again very shortly. And it was a 3 on the neighbouring rink to Inverell. So Darren Hungerford, as I say, he's off the schneid and has picked up 3 shots. Players measuring here for a second shot for Lennox Head. And well, it's So a few ways the go. Ray Roberts has said, no, look at that one, please. What's your own, Jake Bourke? I'd be looking at that one first. And 2 shots it is. So Phil Sharp moves on to a 6 shots to 3 advantage. And Lennox Head move on to a 13-shot advantage on the master board. 24 shots Lennox Head, 11 shots Inverell RSM. Jason Pinnock stepped out for a moment. Nick Hind is my name. It's fantastic to have your company around Australia or around the world. Carmen did ask about Coral and Dapto from the same region. We've got that with the Central Coast as well. So there were 2 regions who did not have a eligible Grade 1 side qualify. And the conditions of play permit the runners-up from the regions who have the most number of sides entered in Grade 1 to come in as effectively next best qualifiers. So we've seen that in Illawarra, we've got Corrimal and Dapto Citizens. And on the Central Coast, we've got Batto Bay and Gwandolin competing as next bests here to fill the competition and have a full complement of 16 teams competing for the title. You may agree, you may disagree. And if you disagree, you can email Lee Stinson, match@bowlsnsw.com.au. But it's fantastic for our host clubs and for all our competitors to be given the opportunity to play a full section of games, no buys. And we see here, well, it's a super effort. This is the possibly the shot of the match so far. What a bowl from Simon Luxford. That's timely. He's been outled and somewhat outgunned here by Craig Sandstrom. Delicate draw shot, gets around his own and gets down number 1, and this end setting up much more favourably here for Inverell. See the positive intent there from Dan Stashynsky. He's going to get down and sit the rainbow bowl of Craig Sandstrom. Ray Roberts, he's going to look to get down and sit the shot bowl here. He's played this beautifully. What a bowl there, Craig. Oh, well. Craig Sandstrom was going to be featuring prominently. Ray Roberts, he squeezed the jack. And some discussion, we might have a look at that on the replay. While there's some discussion here. So Ray Roberts, he played this beautifully. It was well set up here, this head for Inverell. And he's gone and got down, grabbed the jack, squeezed it out into the open. Well, up and down for shot. As the players have been discussing what's going on. Dan Stashynsky has had his attempt just pulled up short. And Doug Newton saying, well, it's up and down here. So probably a protect cover bowl there attempted from Jake Bourke. He's just run all the way back to the ditch. I think I understand what the call is though from Phil Sharp. He must believe that Lennox Head has shot and therefore looking to protect against some attack here from Inverell. vicious attack from Inverell, and it's been pretty well done. Got the jack moving out in the open now at least. It was Ray Roberts that went with it, so still probably 3 now to Lennox head, but if you're Inverell, the count's perhaps a little bit less important because you do have the opportunity to have some visibility on the jack. Yeah, so the call from Doug Newton here. They may be 4 down, so just look to break up the pack a little bit. Play weight through the white bowl or sneak around, get into the pack or get the white bowl into that pack too. Might have cut things down, definitely has cut things down. And has actually really improved the visibility on getting to the shot bowl, getting to the jack. That's well done there from Marcus McCosker. Oh. Scott Matheson, good morning to you, sir. He's into me again. The John Laws of bowls, he reckons. He was the golden tonsils, of course. I'm claiming to be the amber tonsils. We had a lovely dinner and a couple of refreshments last night at the Mexican, and we look forward to enjoying the hospitality here over the next couple of days. Scott Matheson, he's got a great record here at Yamba Bowling Club, particularly in the TAB area. And his colleague Jamie Wayside, he's going to be here a little bit later on today, so it'll be good to catch up with the former Matheson apprentice. Now, Phil Sharp, it's probably gummed up the view a little bit. And Doug Newton says, no, don't you worry about that, I've got a plan. So I think Doug Newton's going to play firm up the line. Oh, he's played it on the backhand, that's interesting. Looking to get this white ball across. Well, that's changed things up again, but Ray Roberts is stuck to that jack, and he's going to be disappointed there, Doug Newton. Ray Roberts and Craig Sandstrom, they're almost inseparable, and the jack is glued to the Lennox head bowls currently. So, for Phil Sharp here, he can draw this largely with impunity. There's no real risk, and even if he pulls up just a little bit short, it's going to make things much more difficult for Doug Newton to get in and pinch the shot back. There is a shot available for Doug Newton on the forehand. Look to get down to the rainbow coloured bowl. There's a little split there. But realistically, that's the only thing that Inverell have going for them at the moment. Probably still 3 shots down. The pink bowl at the back of the rink there, that belongs to Jake Bourke. Max watching from Cape Town in South Africa. Good day to you, and trust you're enjoying beautiful pictures here from Yamba. It's worth the trip, I can assure you. We've had a big campaign. Kira O'Shea and I in the van for nearly 8 hours from Sydney, and we had some traffic, and both of us flying in from Canberra for myself and Melbourne for Kira O'Shea on Wednesday. We had a full day set up yesterday, and now we're here bringing you these fabulous pictures. Doug Newton, tough shot, had to play really precise weight and allow the bowl to bend. He was probably just a hair quick there in the end. And it's going to be 3 shots to Lennox head conceded. So Phillip Sharp 9, now leads Doug Newton 3. Very, very good. Jay's managed to hit the button without stuffing it up that time. You've done very well, mate. And on the neighbouring rinks, once again, we'll keep you up to date with those as the scoreboards change over. Jason Pinnock, I'm sure, will bring us back more around the grounds when he comes back in. And it's a change of tactics here from Lennox Head. Similar sort of length to what they've been playing, but have taken the mat all the way to the back of the rink and are now playing a short length. So maybe just feeling Inverell have been picking up on what they're doing. Craig Sandstrom hasn't been so dominant in recent ends. That's a superb start. Goes on here, go Tarrant Point Scorchers. Oh, we have plenty of fans of the point, and we'll see how they get on. We see there was a jack roll missed next door, and then the jack roll on the way back missed almost almost worse. Threatened to come take itself into the head here. And Craig Sandstrom, he's going to be getting 3 points and players player from me so far. Fabulous leading. And as I say, I don't know that Simon Luxford has done too much wrong. Doug Newton's smiling. Well, gets the kind edge there. Yeah, played it well. Simon Luxford. They're all good players at this level. And you're seeing that here. The leads. With the unobstructed view to the jack, they're putting in some super bowls here. Ray Roberts. He keeps finding himself in his bowls in just the right sort of spot. Now, Stashynsky. Daniel want to get right down now. Would love to have finished underneath that blue ball. Really a clear rate either side would have been optimal. Up and down for shot here between the rainbow and the blue. Well, Ray Roberts, that's not how he drew it up, but I'll tell you what, when your luck's on, it's really on, and his bowls continually are finding their way to park in next to the jack. I wonder if, I think Doug Newton said, no, you get into that. So he's going to allow Dan the opportunity to play with some purpose here. Seeing those two bowls parked pretty close in behind. Well, he's done the right thing. He's missed on the tight side, and there's a few ways to win there. He's pumped his own through the head. So best back will be Inverell. But the way that's set up, I think you just go and put one on the front. So, well, Phil Sharp, he's probably identified where there is some risk. We'll bring you the other angle in a moment just so you can see how that lies. So, yeah, the call is to get into it, but I think Phil Sharp, pretty cagey there. He's identified that the jack going to the right of picture there, and as we see, Marcus McCosker on the mat. He feels that's the potential risk. I don't know that Marcus has got the weight for this track. Not really the weight to disturb either. It was closer to draw weight. Still 2. Now, though, with Inverell potentially having third, fourth, and maybe fifth even, I think for Inverell you probably need to just go and whack this. And that's where I like, Phil Sharp, put a front toucher on it, make it hard to get to, even if you park up on the centre line a foot short. That might protect it a little bit, but the call is cover. And yeah, cover it was. Doug Newton's suggesting that the jack's actually fairly likely to bounce forward here with the right sort of speed. And I trust his judgment here. It did look set up in that sort of fashion, so just need a little bit more weight here from Marcus. This looks a better bowl out of the hand. There's a few ways he can win here. Well, he's rattled back to the jack. We'll go and get the side shot and see what is going on there. He did get a touch. And Jay's going to slowly push in with the camera here. We'll have a really good look. It still looks to be one shot at least to Lennox head. The players will shuffle out of the road in a moment. Yeah. Ray Roberts' bowl has just been inseparable from the jack, and the rainbow bowl there of Craig Sandstrom still very much in contention for second shot. I think Marcus can consider himself a little unlucky. Played a good bowl, played with good speed, got back onto the jack, but that was the risk playing that weight, and probably the reason why I did call for Inverell to go a little bit bigger. I don't know if that is in the kit bag though of Marcus McCosker. Now, well, Phil Sharp, he's just going to go and look to add on here, and why not just go and fatten up the target? There's only one shot here. I think you've got to go and hit this. Doug Newton. Chance to go running into this, get a few out. He's pointed it nicely. Gets his own, gets one out. Back to two. And what was shaping up as a nice head now looks like they've been dropped from a helicopter. There's there's balls all over the rink. And it's going to be Phil Sharp, well, being urged to get right back down. Well, the way that's situated, I think there's the best at the back of the rink, I believe, belongs to Inverell. I suspect you go and hit this. Chance for all three to go. And that jack movement, well, it's not going to be worse than three down. So Doug Newton with weight once again. Just under the line. That was about the same track as his last. Needed to be a bowl higher at the target point. And 3 shots it will be to Lennox head. So Phil Sharp 12 leads Doug Newton 3. I can see Inverell 11-3 in front on the far rink. And it's 17-5 next door. So Inverell have picked up a 2 and a 2. It's a 2 and a 4 on the far rink. And next door, 15 shots to 7 through. 5 shots to 7 through 9 ends. So Inverell there. Darren Hungerford clawing his way back after being down double digits very, very early. So just getting on towards halfway through this contest. 13 shots is the masterboard margin. Scott Hamilton doing his very, very best for Inverell to keep them in this match. Doug Newton has been in every end, one feels, but hasn't been able to get the outcomes. That's a good start, good leading. Just the front two of Lennox, their bowls persistently and consistently are all over the jack. Tony Collier has got one next door, so he moves on to 18, gets the mat back, stops that little run, and well, what do you know? It's Craig Sandstrom. He is on a tear this morning. Simon's on a good track here, probably just on the quick side. I'd love to get down and sit this bowl, get back to the centre line. He's played that really nicely. There was a few ways to win with that sort of speed and that sort of line. And Ray Roberts, he'd love to just tuck this around the corner now. Well, something like this. Not quite. Let's frame that up slightly, and yeah, I think a confident forehand shot here for Dan Stashynsky. He's called and quickly onto the mat. Got a positive track. That sort of track was probably right in the first or second or third end of the game, but as the finish increases, players just having to take a bit of attention to their line. And now Ray Roberts, well, he'll be looking to draw down to that rainbow bowl. And if he parks in the road there, well, that's not all bad for Lennox Head. Just visually, I mean, Dan Stashynsky wants to take a higher line. He has done that, and Doug Newton's interested. Yeah, the pace just added nearly 2 metres there, and that's what was costly. Sharpie's just asked for nothing too difficult, just a back touch at this time, please, from Jake Bourke. And just a little bit quick there. Fine effort. You can see, yep. Call from Doug. It's a good, positive, confident call. You know, he's not got down here. It's easy to do when, you know, you're trailing throughout. He's just called Marcus, play this confidently with a couple of yards. There's a lot of ways to win here, and he's going to go very close. He's sailed through the hole. That's sort of been the story of Inverell's day. They probably haven't played enough really good bowls and put them in those areas where your luck can come good. They just haven't had the opportunity to get lucky as much as Lennox Head have. And now, well, that's a brilliant cover bowl from Jake Bourke. He's gone and sat on Marcus at the back of the rink, and it looks very likely to be where the trail was going to go. He's just tightened up a fraction. And he sort of took, like he was batting a fly away there, said, "Get away, don't you touch that front thing." And once again, it's going to be Phil Sharp with the opportunity to potentially lock this head down. You can play this a few different ways. So, yeah, can opt for the backhand and still probably looking to add to the count here, but cover and count would be ideal. Well, on that line, maybe he's looking to block. Well, if that was deliberate, it's an absolute pest. For Doug Newton, well, we'll see what the intent is here. He's been forced to rumble up at a few in recent ends. And has to get under Phil Sharp. Well, he gets Phil Sharp up, over and through. He's changed it up, but still probably two to Lennox head. The yellow bowl of Phil Sharp and the shot bowl of, would you believe, Ray Roberts. And, well, Phil Sharp, he's on a good track once again to get down, cover, count, score, apply pressure. I think Doug Newton's got to draw this backhand. Really nothing else for him at the moment. Beats either of those yellows, he's going to go very close to counting. Oh, gee, it's a risky. Oh, I don't know about this. I think that's fraught. I think, yeah, you're looking to land the shot bowl if you're playing with any weight at all, but this basically needs to be just drawing a toucher here from Doug Newton. Now, he's not giving up on it just yet. Starting to slide away. He gets a good bounce off the front. That's going to flop in for second shot, and it will be 1 to Lennox head. And Phil Sharp 13 leads Doug Newton 3. And all the other rink scoreboards are showing 10 ends, so we're up to date. So we've seen a rare miss there from Craig Sandstrom. And well, rare miss from both leads. We've seen them being absolutely on fire throughout the early part of this game. And that's better. 1 to Simon Luxford, 1 to Inverell. Now it's Ray Roberts going to look to get one close once again. What do you know? Oh, gee, I thought he was going to touch her and drag that jack, but wasn't to be. Stashynsky. Well, his speed was excellent. Currently to Inverell I've got the around the grounds has just been delivered to me, but I wasn't quick enough to get that to you. It's come to me on a phone, so I'll bring that to you once the players are crossing over. And I thank our fabulous volunteers here at Yamba. They've been kitted out in the volunteer army shirts, and they're doing a sterling service. Lunches, breakfasts. Daniel Stashynsky's doing a fabulous job here. This is going to be 3-2 Inverell, and all of a sudden they're looking assertive in the head for the first time, really, in this contest, and there's still some bowls to come, but Doug Newton, he'd love to pick up a big multiple here and get back within this contest. Scott Hamilton's doing some great work for Inverell to keep them into it. Darren Hungerford fighting back against Tony Collier. This one down to the speed here, just going to pull up a little bit on the short side. It's a bit of a nuisance for Inverell though, because they don't want to promote it, but I think at this stage you need to take your chances. And discussion here about which way this is being played. Backhand was the option. That's going to add to the count. Might be 1 in, 1 out, but still an improvement there for Inverell. They've got another one towards the back of the rink. There's a very direct line now from Jake Bourke. All of a sudden here, some pressure being applied, and the call is play that on a higher line and we'll get a chance to sit through the Ray Roberts bowl. And then Inverell, the opportunity to apply some number pressure. Have to go get the electric dog collar out. So on the changeover, it is going to be 3 shots to Inverell. Around the grounds, though, we thank you all for sticking with us. And it's Maryland's 31 leading Cabramatta 19 through 27 ends. So about close to halfway there. Nelson Bay 25, North Haven 19. Campbelltown lead Harbord 36-24. So Harbord catching up there. Siddo's 21, Maitland 19, Corrimal 26, Gwendolyn 18, Lennox Head 33, Inverell 20. Well, that's this game here, so we don't have to worry about that one. Tuncurry 26, Tarrant Point 16, and Merimbula 29 lead Batto Bay 23. That's around the grounds where most of those games maybe an end or two behind this one. And just been making some adjustments to our audio here. A couple of comments coming through saying that it's perhaps on the low side at home, so we'll just make some adjustments to our systems. And we trust you're enjoying the coverage. These beautiful pictures coming to you from Yamba Bowling Club. This is the Bowls New South Wales BCiB Grade 1 Open State Pennant Finals. Nick Hind is my name. It's fantastic to have your company and have you joining us across the week, across the weekend. Phil Sharp, well, that's too tight for him. The way that the luck's been going, though, you'll see a flick off the front and he's going to run on for shot. Well, I feel for Inverell with that. That was a poor bowl from Phil Sharp, and he's got a result and he's got the shot. I think for Doug Newton, they're laughing about it, but get the other camera out. They've remembered, so that's what's going on in the ring. There's a bit of discussion here. I think Doug Newton needs to get into this and just try to sit that yellow bowl through. The risk playing it forehand is that any jack movement to the right of screen potentially takes the shot away. So we'll have the riskier shot being played here. I think at this stage of the game, it's something that needs to be looked at. He's playing it pretty well here. If he can get the right side of this yellow bowl, he'll get that out of the head clean. That's beautifully done by Doug, and probably makes 4. Doug Newton, what a bowl. Have a look at that on the replay. As shots come out. Did have to take a risk there, Doug Newton, and he got the right edge of the Lennox head bowl. I think Phil Sharp would say, well, he probably deserved that. And yeah, beautifully done. And 4 digits went in the air. So the players are just stand by, then we're not going to put that on the board just yet. They're still measuring. But the early indication was that it was 4 shots there, and that was confirmed. So you got away with one there, Jay. Great to have Jay driving the cameras for us today, and these pictures coming to you here at Yamba. Make sure that you like, follow, subscribe, have your notifications turned on. We'll be back this afternoon around about 1 o'clock, depending on the finish time of everything this morning, and round 2 action. So do have your notifications turned on. We are chasing 1 billion subscribers, and currently several hundred million short. As we chip away at this, it's Inverell who are going to be looking to chip away, and that's the sort of start that they might need if they're going to get themselves back into this game and back into this contest. Well, it is 17-3 through 11 ends on the far rink. So, as I say, it's Scott Hamilton. He's doing his level best here. And Doug Newton picking up that 4. Well, that's going to help the cause tremendously for the Inverell crew, who are now they're just creeping back into this game a little bit. Next door, 22 shots to 10. So Inverell picked up a 5, but then a 4 as well has been scored by Tony Collier. So all sword and no shield there. So we'll have some adjustments here. We'll just continue to work on this audio. So we're just going to continue to make adjustments, but it's very hard to do that on the fly. We did a lot of testing yesterday and things seem to be working favourably. Dan Stashynsky, he's played that very well. We have a couple of shots currently to Inverell, I believe. Ray Roberts, they're playing quite positive. And now it's going to be McCosker. And a look to adjust. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll keep to make some subtle adjustments in our system. Hopefully we can improve things for you. I do apologise to those that are having difficulties. So we believe it's an issue with our streaming software, so we'll play with a couple of the settings and see what we can come up with. Interesting. Okay, hang on. Well, I've just got some news. Jason's volume was fine. It was only mine, so I might just change headsets and see how that goes for everyone. Well, after the quick headset change, we'll see what happens here. So some attack from Lennox head, but currently shot to the white bowl there of Inverell. Dan Stashynsky. For Doug Newton, well, the opportunity exists to just draw down on this forehand. And well, he's got a result there almost. Little bounce off the inside. So we've got a bit of an idea with the audio. We're going to try this. We've certainly got some more fluctuations and perhaps more consistent with what we need. So, stick with us. We will get this figured out. And it's, well, Phil Sharp trying to figure out what shot he's going to play here. Very hard to get. Get the shot back here. I think the look was maybe some weight. Trying to get the black through the white. We believe we've got our audio issues resolved. So do stick with us. And we do believe Phil Sharp is going to, well, I thought he had a plan, but he's slowed down once again. And it is going to be weight, so he's looking to get both the Inverell bowls out. Well, he's got rid of a bunch of bowls at the back of the ring, but they belong to Lennox Head. And for Doug Newton, I suspect he's going to look to protect here. Certainly if it's two shots, he'll be protecting. If it's only one, there may be a look to turn something else into the head. Green bowl is the one that was pointed out there by Marcus. Hearing some positive comments on our adjustments to the audio, so thank you for sticking with us. Doug Newton here. I'm not quite going to change things up. Darren Hungerford's picked up a 4 on the next rink. And further over, it's 17 shots to 7. That's through 13 ends though, so 2 and a 2 for Lennox Head. And yeah, 38-42 your master scoreboard. So Inverell have sort of come from the clouds here in recent ends. And we'll see now what Phil Sharp can do to hang on to the lead that Lennox Head had built. Hard now, they've lost the good catcher at the back of the rink. I think he's going to maybe, well, I thought he was going to take his medicine and try to draw this, but he's lining up backhand, so I suspect it'll be looking to turn Ray Roberts over here with a draw. Or just go and draw it himself. Well, he's gone very close there. Phil Sharp, that's a fine effort. So one shot tickled out for Inverell, and they're going to look for a second here, and why wouldn't you? You've got back within a couple of shots on the master board. Scott Hamilton doing a big job here to help Inverell out. Darren Hungerford, well, he's fought back valiantly after trailing double digits early. He's now back within 8 shots, and well, Doug Newton, he's going to be cutting the margin to 5 at most here, and 1 shot only. So Doug Newton 8, Phil Sharp 13. Masterboard margin back within 3 shots here. So just gone through halfway. And we're looking forward to bringing this exciting conclusion. I did message about the next match this afternoon. So we are streaming Rink 8 here at the beautiful Yamba Bowling Club. So this afternoon's game will be from section number 3. So it'll be the 2 round 1 winners this afternoon. So Corrimal, Gwendolyn, Campbelltown and Harbord are the teams in that section. So 2 of those 4 will be featuring in this afternoon's match. So make sure that you do like, follow, subscribe, have your notifications turned on, and we'll be coming to you approximately 1 p.m, but that's largely contingent on the finishing times this morning. We see, well, this man Simon Luxford, he's come back into it. Craig Sandstrom, the quality of his leading at the start of the game was just unparalleled. He's got a bit unlucky there. He's turned Inverell down behind the jack, and that's going to protect so we've got it's a little bit unfortunate there from Lennox head, and now Doug Newton, he's looking a bit more buoyant, as is this man, the Stash, and then Stashynsky. It's down to, well, 1 in, 1 out. I'm not sure if that bowl was second shot before. Ray Roberts here, he's going to be asked, just reach up on the forehand, confident draw. Something just like this. It's Ray Roberts, he's been doing it all game. Gets the jack through the hole to the back of the rink, makes a number. What a shot. So Ray Roberts, well, he's putting himself in contention to be my player of the match here. Seeing the replay now. Just Ray Roberts' bowls have found themselves persistently in the right areas, and this is another example of that. Gets down, gets the jack moving, bounced off the shot bowl, and well, here he is again, we're back live, and it's Ray Roberts. 2 to you, sir. Stop it. I think Doug Newton's saying stop it, because he'd be loving that. Kira O'Shea's come past looking for content. I thought you'd be getting some images out. We've got one of the great mascots here at Yamba. All the teams have got their supporters, but the Gwendolyn Crabs. Stay tuned. Make sure you've follow us on all our social media channels. I expect that will be featured heavily in tonight's posting. She's dressed up an absolute treat. A girl from Gwendolyn. So now, with this game very much in the balance, Bourke doesn't like that one out of the hand. It looked quick. As the pace of the green increases, it's going to disappear. Big bowl coming now for Marcus. Well, needs to get through the white bowl, through the hole. Probably not how it was drawn up, but effective. That sort of speed can give you results there. Could have had punched through the Ray Roberts blue bowls, but as it is, that set things up a little bit more nicely for Inverell. The white bowl at the back of the rink looking really handy, and Jake Bourke being asked to play similar sort of speed. And just, missed on the high line, so the luck starting to turn here. Inverell coming home. With a wet sail. So Doug Newton having that. They're having a good discussion here at this point. You feel that this is we've had a bit of a change of fortune and a change of luck, change of momentum. So I think Inverell, they want to maintain this momentum, keep trucking on. So Dougie's going to look to the forehand here. I'm not quite sure what he's seen there. I felt that's. I understand he probably didn't want to leave once hitting Jack high on the backhand to give a shelf to Phil Sharp, but Inverell have got the two best back. I can't really see the Jack getting across to the left-hand side of the picture there, so I feel as though he's potentially missed an opportunity to add to the count and apply some number pressure. Phil Sharp, this is going to be quick. And rattles off into the ditch. So a couple of Lennox head bowls sitting up on the bank. And for Doug Newton, he's being given some clear instructions, I think, by Marcus to say, mate, we're pretty safe here. I think you're playing. We're just playing a draw on the backhand. I think you're very unlikely to give the shot away. And so for Inverell, an opportunity here. You pick up a couple and then all of a sudden you might be unlikely leaders getting towards the finish line. Well, it's Waite. Well, he's given the shot away. He's got it back too. Oh. I've questioned that decision. That looked a really risky option. And more than that, it's now given an option with that white bowl sitting jack high that Phil Sharp might be able to roll it twice and make a couple. I feel as though the trail's very unlikely there to go wrong for Lennox Head. I think he can play look to land the white bowl. We'll see what the choice is. These players are the ones that are out there. I haven't played a poor one yet, but thankfully we've been in here and Doug Newton and Phil Sharp having a bit of a chuckle as the players in great spirits here at Yamba Bowling Club under beautiful winter sunshine. 21 degrees currently, but probably a bit warmer, Jason Pinnock tells us, on the green. Phil Sharp, he is playing the shot that I called. He's playing a couple of yards, looking to get to this white bowl and sit it through flat. Well, he's played good positive intent there, and it is one, perhaps a little bit fortunate shot to Inverell. So Doug Newton 9 trails Phil Sharp 13, and we'll get a good view. We don't have a view at the moment. 23-14 on the neighbouring rink there. So Tony Collier has picked up another shot, and we'll get a look as soon as we can at the scoreboard on the third rink. But I think Inverell, they can be really proud of themselves here. Early doors, they were getting, well, tune-up's probably not the nice way of saying it. It was 2 to Brendan Clark. So 17-9, he trails. Tony Collier still doing the heavy lifting here as Doug Newton's fought back in this contest. Scott Hamilton doing the best work that he can for Inverell, and it's 5 shots, 2/3 of the way through the contest, and here he is, my man Craig Sandstrom, back on it. Well, serviceable there from Simon. Nothing else he's got. A change of hands from Sandstrom. Craig there putting another one, well, right in the zone. Dan Stashynsky. It's a favourable slide off the front there. That's going to run on and probably be shot, yeah. The single digit of Marcus McCosker goes in the air. And, well, Ray Roberts. How much more can you do for this team? He's already played some brilliant bowls. We'll see how we get down here. Well, for the first time, perhaps all game, Ray Roberts has had 2 misses. And it's going to be, well, march back to the mat for Marcus McCosker. So, Shay's second guessing himself here, but the scoreboards and our scoreboard add up. The master board is being misdirecting, so yeah, some people just can't do maths, Jay, and you'll learn that. So let's see, it's a little bit short. Currently, it's Lennox head here, sort of only now a 6-shot advantage. They had that well into double digits earlier in the contest. And, well, Jake, he's played this pretty well. He gets an edge off the shot bowl. Slips past. Got a kiss on the jack on the way through, allegedly, too, says Phil Sharp. So he was very, very close. Getting the perfect result. He must have only feathered that jack on the way through. And, well, it's a big overcorrection there from Marcus McCosker. Let's see what the call was though, to get down and sit with the bowls at the back left of picture. And that's what Phil Sharp has gone in and indicated. So Jake Bourke, something pretty similar to your last. You saw the head roll back, though he wasn't happy with that one out of the hand. And it's going to slip away. The speed would have been pretty fair. I think Doug Newton's given Marcus a bit of a word up there saying, come on, mate, you really need to lift. Just do a little bit more. So Doug Newton now, well, he'd be filled with confidence after that last end. Big bowl to make 4 shots. That might well feature on the hot shots on the highlights later on today. And, well, it's a fortunate result. A very fortunate result. He's made 3. So here it is again. You can see the intent was to finish back left of picture down with the blue and the pink bowl. Got the edge off Marcus McCosker. He's probably damning him and saying, get out of my road. But got the right part of the jack and flops back onto it. That's one that Phil Sharp won't be too pleased with. But he's had some fortune today as well. And I expect he'll be looking to attack this, break it up a little bit. It is attack. It's on the forehand. It's just going to dive underneath. Well, there's maybe an argument to play one on the other hand now, but it's not a massive target for Phil Sharp if he's playing forehand, so there still is a risk. It's been identified by Inverell. If the jack does sort of squeeze out sideways, that they could go down a big number, and well, it's not terminal yet, but you can see, well, being called to get the split down in there. Oh, he's got more cover at the back, but I think if the jack's going to squeeze out to the left of picture, there is potentially a 5. But that's probably not going to be plan A. I think just looking to clear a few out here. Phil Sharp will go again at this. Yeah, on a better track this time. Needs to skip past the front. Gets one out. And it will be 2 shots to Inverell. And Doug Newton now to 12 shots. Sorry, not to 11 shots. I can't count. And 11 shots Newton, 13 shots Phil Sharp. This game's getting close. The seconds there you can see conferring, making sure the scorecards match up, they add up, and Inverell really they're back in the fight, and that's so important here. 18-10 now on the far rink, so Brendan Clark has picked one up for Lennox Head, and next door 25-14. That's just about to be flipped over. So the first bowl there has stayed up at the back of the rink, so Doug Newton okay with that. You never know when it might come in handy. Now I'm just looking to see, well, it's another super opener from Craig Sandstrom. He's been relentless up front today. Now, I'm just wondering if my eyes deceive me. That looks like, is it 16 or 18 next door? Well, I'll get a camera on that. That's a great shot there. And all of a sudden there for Simon Luxford, it makes his back bowl look incredibly useful. These leads have given us something. Well, haven't they given us something? What a shot there. Craig Sandstrom, he's been leading up beautifully. He's just to change the angles there. It makes that back bowl of Simon Luxford, does Craig Sandstrom, makes it harder to get to. He's defending it. The jack's moved, so the angles have changed. It's an ineffective bowl from Stashynsky. Now it's Ray Roberts. He's had very few of those. The effective bowl percentage of Ray Roberts would be outstanding today. And he's close again. He's really close again. Gets the jack. He's got a touch on the jack. It's a bad time for Lennox Head to go and stand right in the middle of our picture. Get moving. Well, the Super Bowl, and it's a super reply. Gets the jack moving into the ditch. So, as I said, that back bowl of Simon Luxford, that's probably number one at the moment, but there are some touches in front. Ray Roberts has got a toucher, and that might come in very, very handy shortly. So Ray Roberts, he's probably got, well, it's going to be in the argument. A little bit over a metre. And for Marcus, well, this is going to come down to his speed here. Gets past Ray Roberts. Yes, he has. That's neatly done. Makes a bird of it and ensures that Lennox Head, they're going to have to do something to claim this head. It's a hard shot. They can sort of take their pick here, I think. Just trying to draw around and past the green is plan A. That sort of weight is probably punch and stay weight from Jake. And it's going to be an opportunity here for Marcus McCosker with a pretty clear run to his own. The only thing that he doesn't want to do is frame it up and put two side by side here. If you can get them in a line or, suitably far enough from one another that both won't go. Well, he might get them both in a line here because he's going to get onto the front of it. Push that up. Well, perhaps that's a big enough target to search for them both. Definitely two shots though now to Inverell. And Jake Bourke here, a little bit more conservative, looking to turn through Ray Roberts at the front. Hasn't done that and has probably blocked off access to the two green bowls on the backhand with weight, which is the way that I initially liked things. Phil Sharp, he's not looking super impressed. There is a toucher there from Ray Roberts, which is what Phil is looking for at the moment. I believe there may be an opportunity for him to hunt for the toucher. That's the one there. And punt that into the ditch. He'd basically need to play with weight and get a split to get the blue bowl to shuffle back towards the ditch. It's not a shot you get to play very often. But Phil Sharp, in his long and distinguished career, I think will feel confident that he's able to deliver in the event that that's the call. Well, this just needs to stop now. Is it going to? Just more, maybe half a roll too quick from Doug Newton. And sitting there would have made it really, really tricky because if the toucher goes in, it's in a hard position now for Phil Sharp to get to. So Sharp now just taking his time. Wonder if Lennox Head, I think they would have known that Inverell were always going to come back and give them a good run for their money. So you can see he's looking to draw this. Done the first part. He's got past his own bowls. Can he get under the green? He's drawn second shot. That's very well done. And what it does is it gives potentially the freedom to play something a little bit more aggressive with the next bowl. So I think I'm being lied to by Scott Matheson here. He reckons this man, Douglas Newton, his nickname is Bert. I don't know that I believe that. But he's in a good area here, Doug. Gets up and over that green. Just didn't quite have the pace. I think a clear run to the shot bowl, he would have done enough. Yeah, I like this plan here. I think you've got a pretty safe second shot. It'd be very unlikely to see it go out. And they're going to go and have a discussion here. as to the risk versus the reward. Currently only one shot to Inverell, but there is a chance with a split on the front there that the blue bowl in the pack next to the two rainbows can get to the back left of green down near the he's doing it all for us here, Phil Sharp. He'll say that goes into the ditch there. That'll be good enough for shot. As I say, I think it's probably worth the risk at this stage. I can't see. You'd have to be very unlucky to get the yellow bowl out clean. Even potentially there is a way that you can get an edge of the blue back to the yellow and then the yellow onto the green bowl into the ditch to actually make shot. I'm just going to see what's happening when I press this button here. It's one of the rare occasions where some extra tools would come in handy, but it's going to be, well, Phil Sharp's beat me to the punch here, so we'll see. What he opts to do. It is wait, and it's wait for the toucher. Well, safely enough through, and it's one shot to Inverell, so they get back within 2 shots on the masterboard. Although next door, 17-25, so Darren Hungerford did pick one up next door. So they're back within 1 on the masterboard, and then we'll have a look at the Scott Hamilton, Brendan Clark rink in a moment. But all of a sudden, this game that looked like it was it was cruise control for Lennox Head is now, it's anybody's game as Inverell have come storming back from double-digit deficit, and Tony Collier was brutal early. Phil Sharp led 13-3. So it's 23 shots to 10 on the far rink. So Scott Hamilton has picked up a big collect for Inverell. And Inverell have hit the front for the first time in this contest. So 49 ends in. Mark that on your cards if you're scoring at home. Wow. Inverell here looking to sneak down and get one onto it. I've just seen a very familiar looking jacket walk into the room. There's not many blokes up this way with Jindabyne bowls jackets, but one of them has just walked into the club, so I better go find out who that is in a moment. But I suspect it's Northern Rivers representative Gavin Spears, who spent a bit of time down my way. And Ray Roberts, as he's done all game, has come and done a job there once again for Lennox Head. He's jumped right on. And Dan Stashynsky, well, he's almost done enough there to turn his own bowl in for a shot. Alex Tonkin with one of the great suggestions there. I think he should get on our State Match Committee, Alex. You can provide those to us all the time. But yeah, we'll do that this afternoon. We might add that to the list of tasks for our producer Jay, or for Jason Pinnock, or for one of the volunteers. I'm sure Jason will provide us with another update before too long, as these games are getting close to a conclusion. Just gone 20 past 11 local time. 22 degrees is the official temperature. One shot is the official call from Phil Sharp. And Jake Bourke is being asked to find a way to get down and make two. Big piece of the white would be good, and none of the blue was also a pretty good miss in the end. Well, we've picked the right streaming rink. This is good. If this game comes down to the wire, this looks to be the last rink to be finished. We're 2 ends behind the other two, so we won't be moving cameras. And in this first round contest, it's everybody started on the same score, so a lot to play for. All these teams are going to be fighting for everything. As we know, the format is top two from each section, so it's a great correction there from Jake Bourke. We're hearing a bit more noise around the rinks. And Inverell really up and about now. Jake Bourke, well, he's played that one neatly. Currently 2 shots to Lennox head. Don't want to go off too early, but maybe a draw here could be a fair result. We've seen, Scott Hamilton's done a really good number for Inverell on the far rink and sort of picked up Darren Hungerford and Doug Newton, but these two rinks are coming back into this contest. The boys jumping up here. They're very enthusiastic about this one. Wants Doug Newton to hurry. Well, he's gone close. Still left it a foot short, and it will still be 1 shot at the very least. Phil Sharp, I think he's going to have to flirt with the backhand here. Look to bump into the black bowl, maybe get an inside face, get back down to the jack. So as Phil Sharp makes his way back to the mat, and he's going to be backhand. And I think he's identified that there's probably a bit of risk coming the other way, so he's going to look to play tight here. Probably playing it a little bit too firm. Now, if it's only 1 shot, quite like this call for Inverell to turn their own one up. If it was 2, I think the better shot was to look to get both bowls out, but we'll see here. Doug Newton. Well, he's got this one away nicely. A bump off his own and hasn't found any improvement. What that does do is I think it opens up a kind of draw on the forehand. You play this wide with stone cold draw weight, you're very unlikely to do any damage. I suspect that's what Phil Sharp would like to do. I think that's what Jake Bourke would like him to do. If you float this one high, there's a couple of good angles off the white bowls to get back to the middle. there's no need to be an absolute hero and play the perfect bowl at this stage. Just play something safe, take the win, take the one end, and take your chances. No, it's going to be backhand to continue. I do have a little bit of anxiety with how the Doug Newton bowl is positioned. If he's a bit too direct at this, well, no, it's a good conservative line. I was going to say, if he's a bit too direct at this, that he could turn the black bowl up for shots. So a non-attempt realistically there from Phil Sharp, and it is going to be 2 shots to Lennox head. And they lead currently on this rink by 15 shots to 12. The masterboard, though, still belongs to Inverell, and a little bit of a discussion about length. He's waving. 2 shots claimed by Inverell on the neighbouring rink, so I'll add that on for Darren Hungerford, who's stormed back into this contest with Tony Collier. And 26-10 it is on the far rink. So Scott Hamilton, he's done some damage, and all of a sudden Lennox head probably feeling the pressure. The finish line is in sight. There's still 5 ends to play on this, our streaming rink. The other 2 games, well, they're coming down to the wire, and I think for Brendan Clark and his Lennox head team, it's well, that rink is gone. It's all about damage limitation. Look at the masterboard. For Tony Collier, he had such a good lead early. Looking to maybe reclaim that that bit of an advantage. We'll want to finish strong here. Well, it's a strong finish. Simon Luxford, he's been really good in this second half of the game. Craig Sandstrom had his measure in the first few ends. Perhaps the second half, the honours have been more evenly split. Craig Sandstrom, though, says, no, you don't. What a shot. He's been absolutely brilliant for Lennox. Whatever the outcome, he can hold his head high. Yeah, both Craig and Ray Roberts have been superb up front. Simon missing the line there. You can see the intent, though. He's looking to play backhand, good weight, get down. Could have bounced off either of the Sandstrom bowls. It's Ray Roberts being asked to add on here. If he can get right down to the centre line, he'd be really, really pleased with that. Probably left a bit of a seat there potentially for Inverell. We'll see what the attitude is. He's still backhand, so there's probably a way to just get in between those 2 rainbow bowls. As we get a good look at the backside there of Newton. It must be close. Well, he's turned through the front, and well, only 1 shot for certain now. We do remind all our players before the match of that the cameras are there, and we would like to watch the action rather than their backsides, but all bowlers know in the heat of the moment their focus is here and winning a state #1 pennant flag. So we do forgive them. It's fantastic to have your company wherever you're watching around Australia or around the world. Nick Hind is my name. We're here with you at Yamba Bowling Club for the BCiB Grade 1 Open State Pennant Finals. This is Daniel Stashynsky, and he's hunting. He's hunting this. He's not too far away. Off the inside of his own, up onto the jack. Well, got it a little bit too fat. Makes the shot bowl look a little more vulnerable though. And what it does do is give Inverell a chance to perhaps pick up this end and potentially, I mean, there's an option here for Inverell, remarkably, still to claim all three rinks. And that looked an impossibility only an hour or so ago. Jake Bourke probably wants this to hold on a little bit longer. Get the inside face there. Hasn't quite nailed that. The speed was good. Peter Hearn, very kind. Great commentary. I wish I was there to watch. Well, Peter, we trust you're enjoying all the action. We've seen you're at Tamworth, cheering on your Harrington teams. I know you are in Harrington, but you're getting scores from Tamworth from your Harrington team, so thank you for that. So a good effort here, sneaking up. Well, it's going to sneak in. Oh, who knows? Good argument here for second and third shot. Better line this time from Jake. Just still sliding away. Well, that's gone and rattled up and made a big wall in front of the jack now. But 3 of the 5 in the wall belong to Lennox Head. Lennox Head also have the shot. Doug asking for this one to hold. Was trying very hard to hang on. He's punched, he's popped one through, and it was Jake Bourke for Lennox Head who has come through, and currently Lennox lying 2, I believe. Phil Sharp is going to need to rely on all his vast experience here if he's going to keep Inverell at bay. Claim this rink. Feels as though the momentum has swung 180 degrees back towards the Inverell team. And for Phil Sharp and Lennox Head, this is, well, it's a big ask. 7 shots, not insurmountable, but one feels there's going to have to be a decent score from one of these rinks. I'd love it to be Brendan Clark, who has just picked up a single shot next door, so there, up and back. Douglas Newton. Well, he's on a good line here for the jack, for the shot bowl. He's got the jack moving, and that's going to make a couple. Played that beautifully as we pull the camera back. That jack, well, it's fairly well out in the open, but the difficulty here for Phil Sharp is he's only got one look at this. Currently 2 down, but has, this is exploratory out here. His last bowl was to the jack on the centre line. Player of his ability, expect he'll get one close. Can he get it close enough? Can he nail it here? Just pushed it a little bit firm. Still 2 shots to Inverell, and they are stoked about this. Yeah, good conservative call there, I think. Marcus McCosker, he's showing his experience and saying, no, don't get too clever here. You don't need to draw a front toucher. If you miss high, if you miss on the short side, we're okay with that. The Inverell boys standing over, but it is going to be 2 shots, I believe. I don't know that's got far enough to change things up. 2 shots claimed and conceded. And now Doug Newton back within a single shot. Well, if you told me you had Inverell winning this game an hour ago, I think I would have called you, well, brave. But it's been a fabulous team effort. That's that's the first blemish on their card. And for Lennox Head, an opportunity here. Can they punish that mistake? The jack was, it was fired into the ditch. So Lennox Head get the opportunity now. 25 all next door. So Darren Hungerford has caught Tony Collier with a 6. And not only is a win now, well, a very short price favourite, but a 10-0 win is now very, very likely. This Doug Newton team is coming home like a train. And a remarkable turnaround in fortunes here for the Northwest Region champions. You see the green starting to take a lot more finish. Craig Sandstrom is alert to it. There's a great correction there. Simon Luxford. So Jason Pinnock wandering around. We'll have him rejoin us this afternoon. Craig Sandstrom, he's tidied up the line a little bit, just didn't quite give it the trip. Full distance is the length set here by Lennox Head after that little misstep by Inverell, and their lead, Simon Luxford. But well, good leads, they tend to do the right thing. They've rolled the jack out of bounds or into the ditch, they can get some credits back by doing the right thing and plonking one near it. That's what Simon Luxford has done. Ray Roberts, well, he does what he keeps doing. He's turned up Craig Sandstrom, and it is 1. But Lennox Head, they'd be wondering where their next shot's going to come from. I think early doors when the green was a bit slower, they found it to be most kind. Dan Stashynsky, he's lost that bowl. Looking to find that extra metre or two. I keep feeling as though I have to sort of pinch myself a little bit here. The turnaround in this contest has been something to behold. And Ray Roberts, well, he's made 2. And once again, he, at a Lennox Head side that now looks as though they may be beaten. He's done nothing wrong. Like this call from Doug. Currently 2 down. Some kind angles for you on this this backhand. You've got a pretty clear road to the jack. And this looks to be on a reasonable sort of a track here. Doug Newton's asking for it to call, for it to turn. Gets a little bump, maybe cuts one out. Certainly makes the the backhand a little riskier for Lennox Head. And yeah, I think the call from Phil Sharp is pick the gate. Get down, try to cover and count for me, please. It's on a good high line here. Certainly to cover, but I think that's going to be too quick. Yeah, well too quick from Jake Bourke. He's just maybe gone off a little bit. Played some big bowls, but really hasn't perhaps lived up to his own high standards in recent ends. There's been some pressure applied from Inverell. This one looks quick too. Well, it's only quick if you don't run into anything. And has stayed up at the back of the rink, so some work to do if Lennox Head can somehow, some way, find their way to overcome this 14-shot deficit. I'm going to have to go and give Bowls superfan Greg Adam the bad news. He's the president of the Least Instant Fan Club, but Lee's not here with us. No, he's down in the Shoalhaven. The game's going on all across New South Wales. So that'll be grade 4 that Lee's looking after. Bomaderry and Nowra, the host venues for that this year. And we trust that wherever you're watching, wherever you're playing, that you're enjoying the coverage here from Yamba. Nick Hind is my name. Somebody else has kicked the camera. It's unbelievable how they can do that. As we see, well, what a shot there. May have made 2. Doug Newton, he's just found a way through this game. We'll save that one for later. That's just a classy bit of weight. And if he has made 2 shots, that could well be the final nail in the coffin for Lennox Head. Running out of ends and, well, they've run out of lead. Tony Collier was up huge. Now Phil Sharp looking for exactly the same result. The outside of that, the inside there, back up the line. Well, he might have made 2. That's a super shot. That will be in the highlight reel potentially. And it's going to be Inverell now being asked, well, how can you get that shot bowl out? It's pretty tricky. Doug Newton's going to come down and have a bit of a yarn with his third. How do I get to that? Or is he going to try to potentially just draw it through the hole? I'm not sure. Not sure how you can get to this jack and make a number here. It looks to be pretty well covered for Lennox Head. So just going to try to draw through the hole is Doug Newton. I'll tell you what, it's a mighty effort. Probably didn't need that scrape in terms of pace, but did need it in terms of line. So I think Phil needs to look for where the number is here. If there's a chance to sit a bowl and make an extra shot or 2, you've got to take that risk now. Tony Collier did pick up one next door, so he once again leads, but now only by a single shot. The margin's still 12. And Brendan Clark, he got a couple as well, so That's all one feels going to come down to this rink here, the Phil Sharp rink. Can they overcome this deficit? Can they, well, make a 2 or a 3 here? 2 or 3 here makes things, viable for them, particularly if Brendan Clark and Tony Collier can win the final end, even if it is just 1 shot each. Get it back to maybe 6 or 8 shots in 3 ends. Got the wrong edge there, did Phil Sharp, so we'll see what the players conclude. 1 only to Lennox Head, so let's have a look at the replay. This was the bowl from Phil Sharp that set it up. He knew it pretty early too. Got it away, got the right edge. He was a bit unlucky not to get that jack moving far enough back up the rink when he flopped onto it to make a 2. But Lennox Head now, they're going to have a little mid-pitch conversation. And, well, they know that they're going to be the last ones off the rink. So they're probably going to play a little bit for time here. Expect that they're going to play slowly so they know what the outcome is. They'll have 3 ends to play or to complete, and Tony Collier and Brendan Clark will likely be finished before this end is over. So we'll see what the desire is. I think you see at the end of games sometimes teams that they don't really have a plan, particularly when they're chasing. And we're seeing a lot of bowls being kicked back, and I like this from Lennox Head. Phil Sharp standing no more than 2/3 of the way up the rink, so give yourself plenty of angles in case you need to kill. Conversely, if you're Inverell, you want that jack right down near the tee. Make it harder to get out of bounds if possible. He's not even 2/3 of the way down the rink. He's calling for a very short one here, Phil Sharp. And that's going to be 25, 26 metres. So gives plenty of opportunities for Lennox Head to kill ends if they feel as though they are still in with a sniff, and well, you have to. You have to. It's another great start there. Craig Sandstrom, he hasn't given up. Simon Luxford, well, he's not too far off either. So we'll have the final scores on the 2 neighbouring rinks presently. We'll have the final scores in Bowls Link shortly after the conclusion of all of the round 1 matches. It's another toucher here for Craig Sandstrom. Well, he's been the best, I feel, for Lennox Head. Ray Roberts not far behind. Doug Newton, he's played some bowls though. It's just it feels like it's been a real team effort. No one's been outstanding for Inverell. They've all just been solid contributors, and their solid contributions have brought them back from what was a 10-shot deficit to now only 2. But some big performances from the Darren Hungerford rink to get back from, again, a big deficit to give himself a chance at claiming that rink there. And Scott Hamilton, who's been doing damage all game. That is completed. So 28 Scott Hamilton, 12 shots Brendan Clark. So a 16-shot victory there for Inverell, and I think that's going to take something remarkable here if Lennox Head can claim victory. Daniel Stashynsky, he's going to say, no, you can't. What a shot. He's just done that a few times through this game. Every time Lennox Head look as though they're going to get themselves back into this contest, get themselves back into the head. They've just found a way. It's that team effort, that team mentality that I mentioned for Inverell. You see Doug Newton once again very enthusiastic about this. Well, it slid past, but he's going to finish in a fair home. And for Jake Bourke here, well, pressure. Lennox head currently with 4 bowls, and all 4 of them a metre plus short of the jack. That's not conducive to scoring multiples. I'd start. If I was Phil Sharp, I'm starting to consider a kill here. Not really set up very well to get a multiple. Jake's done the right thing and got something to the back of the rink. But, well, 2 shots at least to Inverell, and Inverell have claimed victory. I'm a body language expert next door. This is being called to hurry. He's straight onto it. I think if you feel sharp, we'll see what the score was next door. So I think you really need to contemplate a kill. More direct from Jake. Can turn up any of those bowls. Well, that improves things in terms of access to the jack. So we're just waiting for the players to give us a view of the scoreboard next door before we do anything. 28 shots it is to 26. So Darren Hungerford picked up a 3 on the last end. And, well, that's all she wrote then. Currently a 16 shot margin on the master board. There is notionally 24 shots still available. But it's going to be a remarkable effort here from Lennox Head if they're going to, well, make up as many as they need. I think for Phil Sharp, need to make a decision here. Are you going to chase 16 shots in 3 ends, or are you going to look to just secure the 1 rink point and hope for an improved showing in round 2? No easy sections in this. Well, he's playing firm weight. To get the jack to the back of the rink there. There is a waiting bowl, but pushed it a little bit high. And I think for Doug Newton, just going to get the back of the rink now. Got 2. Yep, that's plan A here from Doug, and I think that's very sensible. So requires now very deft weight if Phil Sharp is going to trail that to make the 2, or it's more weight for the kill. Well, it's going to rumble around in the head. We'll see what happens here. Ping, 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 ricochet, rabbit, nothing. 2 shots, and that will be, well, that'll be the victory for Inverell. They pick up any score here. They cannot be caught on the master board. So It's a comeback for the ages, realistically. Down a couple of big scores, but the fight of this Inverell side, we did say that they were well regarded by the Northwest Region Administration. 2 have come out, and they're going to go and look for a third. So Inverell will claim victory in this first round. There's still going to be 2 ends to be played. Will determine what the final margin is and what the outcome of this rink will be. North Haven and Nelson Bay, the other 2 clubs in this section, so they'll be meeting in the second round. The winners, being Inverell, will meet the winner of that game. Inverell will go through there. And how many shots was that? Did you see, Jay? 2 is the suggestion. We'll stand by until the scoreboard is flipped over to confirm. So with 2 ends to play, the masterboard result is now firmly in favour and confirmed that Inverell will be the winners. It is now 16 shots all on this rink. And so for Phil Sharp, the only thing to play for now is this rink point. So we know it can be really vital in the overall standings. We do take the top 2 sides from each section through to the quarterfinal stage. This man, Craig Sandstrom, he can hold his head very high. Simon Luxford getting pushed up onto the jack there. But I think he's finished probably will go very close to being on level terms with Sandstrom. I think Craig Sandstrom probably still wins the lead battle in this game, but the significant improvement that we've seen throughout from Simon has really brought Inverell with him as the club has fought back, and it's going to be a commanding victory in the end. Clearly led by Scott Hamilton, who has taken the honours. 16 shots. So the scores will be filtering through shortly from all of our venues. You can find those on the Bowls Link app. So head to your app store, download the Bowls Link app. There's got all the results in the results portal there. Or if you're on your computer, head to results.bowlslink.com.au. The ladder, all the standings, all of our matches will be, once they are completed, will be in for you to follow along with the results. I did mention we've been using competitor scoring at a lot of our events, but when there's so many venues in play and still a lot of players and a lot of clubs and administrators who are unfamiliar with the digital scoring process, it's a great poll, a great correction from Daniel Stashynsky. We opted to use the more familiar pen and paper for this event, but I did tell the managers, if you're playing Grade 1 Pennant finals next year, expect all your players to get their phones out. It's been a brilliant innovation, the competitor live scoring, and really makes your experience for the viewers, for the fans of our sport. You know, you can have that great connection, and we look forward to bringing you more. We'll be back this afternoon, of course, for round 2 action, and it's going to be the 2 first round winners in section 3. So potentially Corrimal, Gwandolin, Campbelltown and Harbord are our likely competitors. I've just seen A couple of Corrimal players wandered back past. They might be getting very close to being finished if they're not already. They're a familiar sight here at the pointy end of a lot of tournaments. We've seen John Green, Eric Johannes and the like. Jared Beckford, Mal Lyons, Ray Parks, Tim Kavanagh. There's been some great players featuring in the Corrimal Cougars uniform in recent years. Cody O'Keefe was the first one on in the comments this morning. He's tipped them to go back-to-back in Grade 1. And, well, what a performance that would be to be back-to-back champions. They didn't have it all their own way in the Illawarra region competition. But they've made their way here. Corrimal, Lennox Head, the Northern Rivers region, the locals. I wonder what the feelings going to be like in their camp. It might be one that got away a little bit. Phil Sharp, Tony Collier both had big leads and never you never want to suggest that someone's going to be down on themselves, and nor should they be, but when you come to a contest and you get a big lead, you really want to go on with the job. That foot on the throat sort of mentality. But hasn't been the case today, and this man Doug Newton, he's played some ripping bowls, none better than one that we saw earlier, making a four at a big moment in the match. Inverell at the time was still down both on this rink and the master board. He's played with some well, great credit to himself. Doesn't want this rainbow bowl up and over. Well, still probably 2 shots to Inverell, but easier now for Phil Sharp to get a result that might lead to getting shot. We can see those 2 pink bowls to the left-hand side of the screen there. They're ones that look likely catches. So I expect Phil will play forehand here. Any jack movement, you can see it squirreling over to the 2 pink bowls. Playing pretty firm at this, perhaps a little bit too firm. Yeah. Stage 2 down. Didn't want to leave that short, of course, so giving himself every chance to improve the situation for Lennox Head. Doug Newton now, he's giving himself every chance to improve things with a covering bowl. You can still see an opportunity to play a similar shot here, Phil Sharp. He's back the weight off significantly here. Now, this might improve things a little bit. Not quite, I don't think. Suspect still 2 shots to Inverell, and it is. And so Doug Newton has come from the clouds, ladies and gentlemen, to to set this up. Phil Sharp needs to find a 3 on the last end to claim. Oh, you feel Lennox deserve a point out of this contest. They were leading all the way through till about 40 odd ends on the master board, but it's been a real team performance here from Inverell that has seen Darren Hungerford come back against a massive deficit against Tony Collier. Scott Hamilton looked in control the whole way over Brendan Clark, and now Doug Newton an opportunity to make it 3 out of 3 rinks for Inverell. 20 shots is the masterboard margin. That's been locked away for a few ends now. And we're playing, well, not necessarily for pride here, but we are playing for that all-important rink point. Players are starting to wander around. Games will be getting very close to their conclusion. The scheduled start time for this afternoon is 1 p.m. We'll hopefully get away very close to that. Super Bowl, super way to finish there. Hold your head high, Craig Sandstrom. You've played beautifully here, mate. If you'd like a transfer to Jindabyne, you can come play lead for me. Or I might play lead for you the way that you're going. It's been beautiful. Beautiful to watch. Dan Stashynsky, well, he's played some big bowls as well, and this might be a big finish for him. I think for Inverell, the result, the outcome here is, well, you still want to claim this end and claim the maximum 10 points, but I think just as importantly, you want to be finishing with playing some good bowls and playing with some confidence. Ray Roberts, well, he did so much at the start of the game, just almost felt inevitable that a Ray Roberts bowl would be parked next to the jack, but maybe the last third, last quarter has not played to that same standard as Dan Stashynsky. He parks up at the back of the rink there. It's going to be a useful home. A good defensive position. Ray Roberts being asked to play a little bit more positively here. Look to sit out the shot bowl. Give himself a chance at making a 2 or get that jack moving. Well, he's got the jack moving all right. And that's gone into the ditch. It's going to be hard to make a 3 though now. Really, really hard. So the shot bowl at the red marker. The jack at the white marker. Probably just under a foot to draw for bowls that are going to be on the bank. Got to draw right up to the plinth here, and Marcus, he's just. Well, the weight was fantastic. Now, where's the 3? Is there a 3? There really isn't. And that was the risk. Ray Roberts trailing that jack into the beach. Doesn't really offer an opportunity for a multiple. That might be third shot, perhaps. Fourth shot, fifth shot. Last bowl of Jake Bourke. Just trying to find a way here that Phil Sharp can find 3 shots. Well, this one's not going to make things easier. Yeah, that's just dropped in. So I think you really need to be taking a chance here. Nothing for short. Looking to sit the green bowl and stay is plan A. Now on this track, you need to stop now. You need to stop now. You need to stop now. There it is. It stopped. Stopped in the ditch. So just the skips bowls to come. And Phil Sharp is going to need to pull something out of his bag of tricks if he's going to claim a victory on this rink. The masterboard and the 7 points that go with it will go to Inverell RSM. Lennox Head, we left to lick their wounds a little bit. Play completing on neighbouring rinks there. We can see that's North Haven with the green and black in the background. And, well, Doug Newton, if he can go and park something Jack High over to the left of picture. When I say Jack High, I mean sort of, up near the bank, obviously. But Phil Sharp, I think he's got to play the forehand. Look to sit that green bowl, make 2, give himself a chance with his last to make a 3 for the rink. Push that a little bit high, doesn't want to run into anything, and, well, that's going to go into the ditch too, so we'll take a miraculous bowl to find 3 shots here. Can't see a world where both the Inverell bowls on the bank disappear. And at this point, it's largely academic. It'll be a victory on the master board and a remarkable victory on all 3 rinks for Inverell RSM. They will be your round 1 winners, and they'll go on to be the winners half of the bracket. So it's winners versus winners this afternoon. And the losers bracket will see Lennox Head, as we say, lick their wounds, but still plenty to play for with top 2 here at the BCiB Grade 1 Open Pennant State Finals. Phil Sharp looking to land this green bowl and make a 2 for a draw. He's gone mightily close, but it is not going to be enough, and it will be 1 shot to Lennox Head. And as the players shake hands, it's going to be a remarkable victory. All 3 rinks, Doug Newton 18-17, Darren Hungerford 28-26, and Scott Hamilton 28-12. Inverell RSM, your winners, 74 shots to 55. We'll be back just around 1 o'clock. So on behalf of the entire Bowls New South Wales team, my name has been Nick Hines. It's been fantastic to have your company. And we look forward to seeing you around about 1 p.m.